who are still classical feminists, and by that I mean they still want the traditional power dynamics of man and woman, but they still want a little bit of the freedoms that came with the women's suffrage movement, being able to vote and what have you. And then you've got the extremer feminists, the fourth wave, fifth wave, who believe, well, we don't need men at all. We only need men for sleeping around. We only need men for money and for fun, and that's it. Red pill doesn't have any of those traits. Now, there are men in that space that overtly hate women because of the things they've been through. They latch on to red pill as sort of a source of power. It makes them feel good, similar to how women who are weak go to feminism. It makes them feel stronger. It makes them feel emboldened because it's a movement of women. So there are extreme parts of red pill like feminism. The difference is that red pill is a response, right? Red pill is a response to the extremes of feminism. You would not have red pill if feminism didn't become so extreme. Feminism is this idea that now that everything's so modernized, you no longer need to systematically have these power dynamics and traditional roles and systems. The issue is, though, is that women still desire, right, instinctually, a man that operates out of a traditional mindset. So no matter how many times they say, well, I'm a modern woman, I don't need a man, when they're picking a man, it's usually a man that acts in accordance to his traditional role. So it's hypocritical, and that's why I combat it. And that's why I go against it, because it's teaching girls to hate men. It's teaching girls that they don't need men when they do. And as far as red pill is concerned, it's giving men a safe space, though it has become so extreme that I've had to step away from it myself, because hating women isn't going to help solve anything either. So it used to be just a response. It has elements that are similar to what feminism is today, but I try to stay away from it because there's no point in being mad at one another for being a man or being a woman. So
Right, right. I mean, I kind of, not kind of, but I do like listen to like the game theory. Like
right.
they're like they're like anti manosphere, anti red pill. Like they feel that men just have to kind of have accountability for themselves, like in the sense of like knowing who they are and just like I would
But see
say
that's
loving
silly.
themselves.
But see, that's silly though, because to discount the manosphere is silly, because all the manosphere is men standing up for themselves against a rhetoric that downplays who they are. And to say that men should just suck it up and take account, men have always taken on accountability. Men have
Mm,
always taken on responsibility. I know dudes out there that are willing to work 60-hour work weeks just so a woman can smile. Okay. So men are consistently always having to take on the burden of being the provider or protector. So a man looking at a modern man who's saying, hey, this isn't fair, saying just toughen it out, or men just need to figure themselves, that's a very oversimplification of a very complex problem.
yeah, I mean, I think what he was trying to say, like well, you know, a lot of times, you know, there's a lot of them, like Steve the Dean,
Okay.
Mr. Lucario. They're like a group, and you know, they talk about how men just need to be men, and and when I say accountability, it's like being responsible, like getting a chick pregnant that you're not really into like that. Cause
Well, if they're talking about hookup culture, I understand that. I'm against hookup culture. But
yeah,
to say that a man should just act like a man when we have direct pushback against that,
yeah,
again, they're not taking into account the power that feminism has against the overall social system. That being that women now today say that a man should embrace not only his feminine, but he should be more emotionally intelligent. Girls say that they want to be equal to a man, or they want a man to respect them equally to that of a man, right? So these things keep a man from quote unquote being a man. Because I'm sure when he says, well, men should just act like men, I'm sure he's speaking from a very traditional stance. The issue is that though men could do that, women do not act like their traditional ancestors. They do not do that. You have women that work every day. You've got women that play around, smoke, drink like men do. You've got girls that go out there, sleep with 15 dudes in a week. You don't have traditional women. So to have men act like men when ladies can act like however they want, that doesn't make any sense to me, right?
Right.
Men act in accordance to what women desire. Men work hard because women want a man that works hard. Women women don't understand it. Men only do the things they do because it grants them the ability to have access to a woman. And the modern woman is saying, I don't need a man in the traditional sense. I make my own money. I'm an independent woman. So how can a man act like a man when if he tries to assert his dominance or authority over a woman, it's seen as oppression and not protection?
I guess it would. I mean, from what I've learned from them, it's like if a woman acts up, like just cut her off and go to the next one. That's
Yeah, but
what.
see, that's also an oversimplification because what
Right.
do you mean by acting up? A woman wants a man that can put her in her place, right? I've talked to plenty of women about this very subject. When a girl gets uppity, right? When she's with a man she's attracted to, they like being put in their place. Obviously not in a physical combative sense, but they want a man that can put them in their place, showcase that, hey, I'm the one that's got this, follow my lead. And if we just say if she gets uppity, leave, well, no relationship is gonna work. You telling me you can't handle a little argument? Every relationship has its problems and issues.
Yeah. Do you like to have like debation with people like from like the Manosphere or the Red Pill
I
or
debate
anything?
everybody. I go on
Okay.
Instagram Live and I literally put in the title, if you hate me, debate me. I ask for feminists to come up. I ask for anybody that thinks I'm wrong to debate me and attack me because knowledge that is not tested is useless. I could make videos all day long and hide in my room, in my apartment, in my room, and act like I know everything. Or I can go out there and challenge people. That's what I do. I go on podcasts. I just uploaded a clip of me
Yeah.
debating with this chick on IG today. Her telling me where am I getting my facts from. I was on a live a couple days ago debating somebody, asking me, why do you feel the way you do? Everything I'm speaking about comes from data, comes from what is efficient, comes from what works and what does not. I'm all about efficiency. That's all I am, right?
Yeah.
I'm all about what's going to make women happy, what's going to make men happy. That's it. And it's
Yeah.
very clear that we've broken down the dynamics of man and woman and are now playing this game of semantics, trying to figure out how we can rearrange it, and it's not working.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could agree with you on like it seems like there's like this civil war with guys and women. Guys they really don't know how to approach women or understand them. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a victim of it too because at this times I don't really understand them at all. I'm 49 years old and I'm still kind of figuring them out.
Okay.
So, but yeah, like, but I noticed that in the internet, it's a lot of guys that really they don't understand. Like, if you even go like to TikTok and they do like a like sometimes I don't go to TikTok like that too much. Like before,
Same.
like yeah, but I would see like people doing like hookup dates and stuff like that on lives and like a lot of times the guys they don't know what to say to women. Like they'll say boring stuff and the
Well,
women.
well, well. You gotta kind of blame society. Society for the longest time said that men are dangerous, men are bad. Being a masculine man, being a traditional man, is oppression. Patriarchy is bad. So what do you? So if you teach a young generation of little boys that being a traditional man is oppressive to the woman and he accepts that as truth, when he becomes a man, why would he know how to talk to a girl or have that swag or know how to say a certain word a certain way? Because he was told that that was toxic. He was
Right,
told that that's being a chauvinist. He was told that being like that is sexist. He was told he needs to embrace his feminine. He was told being a strong traditional individual is the reason why women were oppressed in the past. And now women are free and liberated. And now any man doing that is a part of the toxic patriarchy. So of course you got boys now who are like, I don't even want to deal with a woman. I don't even want to talk to her because there's nothing but stress that's associated with that.
Yeah, but I mean, but it don't help the problem too, because so I mean, but then it's a lot of complications. You got people that pay for box and all this craziness, and I ain't gonna lie, that don't really help the situation neither.
Well,
So
well, adult content definitely negatively impacts men wanting to go out and talk to women. Because I know plenty of my followers say, Spider Guy, I understand you're against adult content, but why would I go out and get rejected by a woman for $300 on a dinner date when I can just buy adult content jacket and go to sleep? And if you look at it from that, if you look at it from that perspective, it's like, yeah, that's a pretty good perspective if you think about it. Yeah, why get rejected by a girl, spend $200 on a dinner date? She don't really like you when you could just go ahead jack it to a $12 picture. It's understandable from that sense if you look at it that way. But in the long term, you're not really getting what you want. I've said to
yeah,
a couple of my followers, adult content is just a substitute for what you really want, right? And
yeah,
it would be better to get what you really want than to substitute it. You're not getting where you want to go.
right.